Hello, everybody. This is Ferdinand. Somewhere in time and space, it doesn't really matter. Now, I was personally excited to see the interview of those two young guys that are the founders of the group uh, Ninja Mídia in Brazil. Ninja, it's the abbreviation for Narrativas Independentes, Jornalismo e Ação. O que eu achei, what I thought was the most interesting thing about that organization was the fact that um, it's an organization that actually has many dimensions and are composed of different organizations. For instance, Ninja actually has the support of the organization of a cultural organization called Fora do Eixo. And Fora do Eixo, it's actually a very broad uh, um, project that has been developed in the last, according to them, the last 10 years. And what they have a really interesting proposal, uh, which is they have these multiple cells of members that organize in what they call collective groups, collective cultural groups, and what these cells or these houses or these collective cultural groups are doing, they are developing uh, music projects. They're promoting local artists, uh, and from these activities, they create, what I thought was interesting. The gentleman mentioning about as meios de produção cultural, né? That means that they are producing uh, from the culture a way to sustain, a way of sustainability for their organization. And that's really impressive because they're talking about producing of a way of organize our social organizations that goes beyond the the capital, the market relationships that we have in our now in our days, going beyond not only the relationship of salary of, for instance, the owner and their employees, but beyond that, a self-sustained group of people that support each other. And the most interesting aspect of their thinking is that also has a contrast with what we have in common nowadays is the idea of the collective versus just a individual centered society. It's very interesting because nowadays, especially when we have the expansion of the capitalism throughout the world, that there is this emphasis on private property, and there is this emphasis on uh, solely on individuals, right? Individuals as from the perspective of this liberal ideology as the center of liberty and so on. So obviously there are some interesting aspects of dealing with the idea of liberty from the perspective of the individual. But what this group in Brazil is doing is something that it goes beyond, and I truly believe that is something that provides a solution for a problem that, for instance, the movement occupied Wall Street was not able to produce, which was how to go beyond these regular uh, forms of interaction, economic interactions that we have in our societies. Meaning, how do we go beyond only organizing ourselves in protests, but creating new forms and new ways to sustain a new form of social organization. So I'm not, in this particular short podcast, I'm not getting detail as far as the ninja movement itself, but I just wanted to emphasize how tremendously powerful is the idea that they have been able to put together and to expand, where you have a collective group of individuals retrofitting each other and producing ways to support and finance their own activities. I think that's very unique, and I would like to congratulate them on their project. And let's continue this dialogue and let's continue this debate about these new social movements. This is Ferdinand Rafols, somewhere in the planet. Have a good one.